Hey there, YouTube's rights. In this video, we're going to talk about reserve retirement. So you see I have a retirement calculator on here. I didn't actually make this. I did modify it. We've got the pay charts. Now this is going to be specifically for Navy reservists. I think if you were Air Force or Army, definitely Marine Corps, you could use this. Space Force, whenever they have a reserve component. Uh, so My Navy HR, specifically this link right here, which hopefully I will remember to copy this into the YouTube video. And let me just make sure that I go ahead and do it in the spreadsheet so we don't lose that. But on this page, it talks a little bit about retiring. So if you need to know that information, not a whole lot of information, but it is there. The very bottom, there is a calculator, Excel. You can download this, right? It does active duty and reserve, and so I have modified it. Let me go ahead and just pull this up. I hid these two things here because I don't really care about the active duty retirement calculation because that's not uh, that's not going to be my problem, right? So we want this reserve retirement, and that's what I edited out. Or excuse me, that's the only thing I'm keeping out of those lines under notes. All right. So we're going to do a couple examples here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick an E6, 20 years. All right. And then we'll do a captain. And we'll have that captain have 26 years. All right. So let's start with the E6. Now, this individual, obviously we would get their specifics from ASOS, right, which is under Bupers Online. It tells you how many points. And make sure, folks, that you go in there and verify each year that you have your 20 good years, right, and that they haven't screwed your report up. Yours truly, it's happened to twice, and I fixed it one time. Now I got to fix it again. It's kind of funny. I wish I actually would share it with you, but one year it shows me having 535 points. Of course, it doesn't total out to that. They only give you a max of 365, but nobody noticed that that was messed up. So I gotta send another letter in to get that corrected. All right. So getting back to this, our E6, they did 2 years of active duty. All right. Um, maybe they start off a reservist, went on active duty for 2 years, went back into reserves. For those 2 years, they have 730 points. Then they pretty much did, the minimums. Not, and this isn't really the minimum, right? Because you only need to do 12 to 14 days AT or whatever it is. But you got your 48 drill points, 15 points for having a good year. And then let's say they did 29 days AT consistently. So that's 92 per year times 18, all right? And that's 1656. So then we total these two together and they ended up with 2,386 points, all right? This value ends up over here. Now we need to go to our tables, okay? So 20 years at the time of retirement. We need to move this over a little bit. It looks is 4413. And I'm not going to put the change in there. 4413. All right. Now, we've got to look at the 18-year mark for these other two because that gives you 18 and 19. And that was 4413. So this is going to be really freaking easy for this one. And again, 4413. All right. So, years of service, 20. And so this individual is going to get at age 60, all right, or maybe 58, right? So they did the 2 years active duty, depending on when they did it. they may end up getting paid at 58, getting their medical at 60, but they'll be getting $730 per month. All right, so this is one of those things where you go, well, too bad you didn't get promoted, right? Because that could make a difference. Um, let's say the same thing, and I said I was only going to do 2 examples, but um, let's say they did get promoted to chief before year 17. And so just so you guys can see the difference here, and these numbers are actually going to be different. So 5232, and then this one 5175, and another 5175. All right, so they got an extra $130 a month. You know, if you live to be 80 or 90, that, could be quite a bit of extra money, right? Was that $130? Let's say you did live that many years, 30 more years after 60. Another $46,000. So it pays to get promoted, right? All right. Let's look at an officer example. And I kind of actually wish we were not doing the 06, maybe an 05, and then show what it would be if they got promoted. Because that's a huge difference there. All right. So let's say our reserve captain, they did 10 years of active duty. And guess what? They could not promote to lieutenant commander, so they come to the reserves. Lo and behold, they get promoted. It happens, right? So then they did another 16 years, didn't go on active duty again. Somehow were able to get by without doing any more. She's absolutely amazing. Probably not realistic, but not these days. So they ended up with 5122 for points, okay? 5122. And so, sorry about that. So we come over here to retirement base pay at 26 for the 06. And they're getting 12,725. And then 2 years before that, 12,130. So you can see that is a huge amount um, of money, even for reservists, right? So those years of active duty obviously matter. If I was a recruiter, this would be a tool I would frickin' take with me, because you would run into all these people that have just gotten out. They have 10 years service, and you can see what a difference that makes, right? You had 10 years of service, and then you just did another. This guy did 16 years. But let's take a look at this if it was 10 years, and maybe take a look at a different example. Let's find let's go back to our E6 example and do this all over again. So 10 years, 365, that's how many points they got there. So then this E6 does the minimum for another 10 years, all right? They ended up with 4570 points. Now, E6 pay for 20 years again. 4413, right? And then it was the same for every year after that. They have pretty much doubled their retirement, though. Or this is double the retirement of what somebody that only had 2 years of active duty did. Kind of incredible. So another thing that you guys might want to know on a, we screwed up, didn't we, with the captain's numbers? Let's go back. We actually did that wrong. They had 26 years. It doesn't matter. So this value only computes with the active duty ones that aren't shown, okay? Just so you know. But it matters going in the table. So if I was to redo this, you would probably look at year, what this year is. And then this is going to be that -1, right? And then this is going to be that -2. And that'll help you go into the table. So if I change that to 20, boom. All right, so starting over again with our E6. 10 years, 10 years, and then over here they had 10 years there, okay? So and if I was really going to do this right, I probably would just change up the calculations. But you can use this for planning purposes too, which is kind of nice. And I'm glad to see that somebody on the reserves, did this. All right. So you can see, after we've done this 1400 again. Now, what I wanted to do was how much is each retirement point worth, right? So what is it worth to you to do 1 day of drill? All right. So it does matter, but we're going to save that for another video. Thanks for checking out this video. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.